Hey everybody, it's your boy Snyder1 with Snyder Elite Gaming, bringing you another fantastic video to bring your gaming to the next level. Now this week I dedicated a lot more time to just one video instead of putting out multiple videos, and it's for a good cause. But I'm going to keep it real though, because it did take a lot of time, and I'm not going to try to waste yours, especially not waste mine, in saying that it definitely raised some questions. Now, this week, I definitely focused in on casters that do not have the affinity of corruption, because really there's only one way in my mind that people should be building corruption champions that are casters, and that's with 5 shadow scrolls and a utility item, whether it be Necroville or whatever you feel like enables you to do you. But I don't think anybody shouldn't be running a power champion with passive penetration, because you're going to get your max damage out of that kind of build. Now this week, because the champions are affinity with corruption, they can't build penetration passively. They got to dedicate certain cards to it in order to maximize their damage. Now because of that, you start falling off on the damage. It starts squeaking you start losing a lot of what you're capable of. I tried to optimize 2 different builds in order to optimize damage, and they're both good builds, don't get me wrong, but I definitely favor the one over the other, and I will give you that determination in a bit. First, we're going to talk about my Hydroverser build. It could be just like all the other Hydroverser builds out there, but this is what I came up with. If it's similar to somebody else's, great. If you find it for the first time and you're like, oh man, I don't do it that way, awesome. I'm going to give you the hard numbers for it and give you a brief synopsis on what it's capable of. Now, I did test everything with Velika's Void Bomb, because it's a 1.0 scaling, so whatever power goes directly to the added damage, all the math became really easy. Now, early game with every caster, I'm a firm believer in healer token mana potion or healer token cast token. The reason why I do that is the sustain health wise, you can't get poked out of lane. It's just not going to happen. You can wait for you can poke someone out of lane if they have a health potion. You can poke someone out of lane if they have a health potion, mana potion, or a health potion, double strike token, whatever they're rocking. You can survive them with a healer token. It's just the best start you can have. It's given me a lot of trouble, and that's why I've adopted it for myself, because I believe in poking people out of lane. I don't want you to be there with me. I want you to either die or go home and bring something back to fight with. So healer token, mana potion is typically what I bring, because I want more abilities to try to burst you down. But healer token and cast token works too. It all depends on your playing style. I normally build that into an early game ward with 3 1 points. Brawler's ward, Sage's ward, Guardian's ward, whatever ward you want. It's totally up to you, so long as it's 1 point in each, and it allows you to have that utility early game, so you're not dying. But for this build, this Sage's ward will be carried off into the end, along with this 3-point Magna Lens. But before I go into all that, after you build your Sage's ward, you build 4 power aggressive cards, meaning this Adamant Edge is going to give you 18 points. Any card that's like that, you want to build 4 of them. I don't care if you pick Adamant Edges, Staff of the Adamants, Burst Engines, anything that gives you the 18 points when they're fully upgraded. Put 3 1 points in it, call it a day. Once you get 4, you'll sell back all of them in order to get into your damage build, in order to make that transition really easy. Now, with that being said, Magna Lens with the Infinity Stream is going to give you a 30 penetration. It also gives you passively that mana regen. This is your utility card for the entire duration of the match. Staff of the Adamant, 332, 333. This is all penetration in your Infinity Stream, and then you bust out the Hydroverser. Now, the stats on it aren't too bad. It's 180 power, 100 health, 60 mana, 30 pin, and 0.9 mana regen. Now, because you're rocking the Hydroverser, you're going to be getting 95.52 power from your mana, your base mana pool, and that's going to be directly added on top. So that's going to give you way more than 180 power. And so when I did test it, I tested it with the Void Bomb, and the first shot that comes out of this build when it's fully done is 535. The second shot is 524, and the third shot is 512. I'm going to tell you why that's important when I compare it to the other build. Now this build, it builds relatively nice. I don't feel like there's any weak spots all the way through the progression. The only thing that I don't like about it is when you're at low mana, you're not at your most lethal. I want to be as dangerous from all mana to no mana. I want to be the same strength, and I want to be that optimal strength. Now, it's a good build. If you like Hydroverser, awesome. It gives you the max amount of damage you can do possible on a caster without penetration passively, without that corruption affinity. It's the best way you can, it's the highest amount of damage you can do while having 30 pin. It's a good solid build. Now, in comparison to what I created for my style, is a lot more simpler. It's a lot more me. All right, so you got burst engine, 12 points of power in each one. You can't mess that up. You're gonna have your Brawler's Ward, and then your Magna Lens, 444. Now y'all are probably thinking, dude, that's a lot of card power for one card. It was the simplest way that I could max out the stats. So this is optimal stats. This isn't necessarily the best build progression. I'm not saying it like that, because with this, you wouldn't have as many strike tokens. I would be putting, your transition cards so that you can sell them back and pay for your Magna Lens. But this Magna Lens is still only, it's not that hard to build it. And I'm gonna tell you why I prefer this over the Hydroverser. Now this build gives you 282 power, 1.5 mana regen, and 26 pin. Now the 26 pin, you still get like a little bit of reduction because it's not the full 30, but the drop isn't nearly as bad as if you were to just forgo the penetration altogether. It's not even in the same ballpark. If you just didn't have this pin and just had another burst engine, you're going to be hitting in the 400s. Just with this Magna Lens alone, I'm hitting at 521, which is only, 9 or so points, 9 to 13 points off of the Hydroverser's build's first shot. Now, in comparison, build to build, the Hydroverser first two shots will beat this one. The first shot's 535 comparison to 521, but the second shot takes a huge dip and is at 524 versus the 521. So that's only 3. So really, you only got one shot on me, and every shot after that, you're less than me. This is 521 every single time you use Void Bomb. I like that. I could have like 10% mana left. 521. Hydroverser, not going to happen. Also, my mana regen on this thing is 1.5 comparison to the 0.9. It's better. And the penetrations, it's literally 4 points off, but it might as well be the same. This build right here, it just felt good. It felt like you were dangerous the whole time. You weren't waiting for your damage to kick in like with the Hydroverser Infinity Stream. Infinity Stream's a 7-point card. Hydroverser is an 8-point card. That's just, literally right here. I put 3, and I already have the card, and then I'm just building 444 rather than waiting for 7, waiting for 8, and then in the 7 card, you're still building like this. You're still building good point cards. So really, the Magna Lens isn't less. It's just as good. Now, with that being said, try them out. Try them both out. See what you guys think. But I think that 73%, for the Hydroverser, 83%. I'm gonna go with the 83%. It hits hard, it does its job, and it's worth your time. I hope you guys like the information. I hope you guys like the direct comparison between full damage with the pin item versus the Hydroverser. And this is the best alternative you can have to building something passively with a corruption affinity. This keeps you in the game. This is going to make you dangerous. And Bellica's right now is like the #1 caster in the game with her win percentage and her ability to counter a lot of champions. So I highly recommend you guys pausing the video, copying down the builds, try them out for yourself, see if it helps you out. If it does, post in the comments, man. Post it. Let me know how well it did for you. If it really helped you, or if it didn't. Give me suggestions on that I can check out. But for the most part, this is how I rock it. 83%. It's dangerous. That's all I got for you guys today. Have a great day. Subscribe, like that. Like and subscribe. It really helps me out. It helps me get the information out to the community. That's it, man. Peace.